Hey, this is Tracy with Color Me This. This is episode 252. This is the second half of my haul video, and I have just a few items as always. Not a big haul person. Right now I am working on replenishing my metallics for the holidays. This is the season when I use them the most, and the first place that I was able to get a sampling of metallics as well as a new brand to try of white pens was at Joann's, and I have not been to Joann's in forever, and I probably said some of whatever the deal was, but I had some free time. Hub was working with my phone, getting everything transferred onto his new phone because his phone died. So the weird thing was when I walked into Joann's, which was just 4 doors down from Best Buy, I asked if they had a flyer, like a printed flyer. When you go to Hobby Lobby, you still get a printed flyer. And she looks at me and she says, "You can look at all of our specials and our coupons online or in the app." And I said, "That's great, but my phone is not with me." And she just looked at me with a blank stare. So that was weird. I noticed that Joann's had a lot of empty space on the shelves for the hobbies that I did the most when I used to shop there regularly. So I did check out the card making and crafting. I did buy some fancy embossing powder that was not on sale. I had thought it was on sale, but it wasn't. And now that I am in a home, I actually have room. And again, this is all going for the metallic, blingy, iridescent, Christmassy kind of things. Christmas and winter. So I have those embossing powders, but that is not so interesting because that I don't think of as a crossover supply. But the other supplies that I got are definitely interesting for both. So I went over to the drawing section because drawing and markers were 30% off. They are 30% off till 10/2, and that's the interesting part. They're on sale online as well as in the stores. And the very first thing I did was looked at the Posca supply cabinet, but I was thinking of getting the sets, but I really only need white, silver, and gold. I do in hindsight wish I had picked up a black, and there is not a Joann's near where I live, so I will probably not be getting black. And I picked up the most interesting to me is this particular tip right here in the white. And we're going to do some testing. I have already swatched all of the pens I'm going to show you today. I have swatched. I got a gold and a silver and 2 whites in the smallest, which is smaller than, it is 0.7 actually. And these are 30% off till 10/2. So we will do some testing of these. I do like the idea of it's ultra fine, fine, and bullet. Let's see. Nope, they're all bullet. There are these codes. Actually, the codes are Joann's codes. They do not have the codes. You just have this says it's 0.7, but it's bullet. And this ironically says it's 0.7, but it's pin. So maybe we will run these together to see which is thicker. And I already have a space for doing that when we get to that point. And then so I had the embossing powder. I had to get help with the Poscas. The person who was at the front kind of helping out was on the phone. And when I went up to make my purchase, she said she would give me a coupon because she was actually on a personal phone call she had to take and she felt really bad. So because she said that, I went back to the craft marker area and I grabbed the metallic jelly roll. The only metallic jelly rolls I have right now, because when I lost everything, I had the full collection of jelly rolls at the time, however many there were. That was like 2017. Yeah, 2017. And then I lost all of my craft supplies in our trailer accident. So these were bought individually. So gold, copper, deep copper, and silver. So that's what I own. These are from 2018, early 2018. This color here is problematic. I even have a sample showing you the difference between this copper and, oh, and you know what? I have to find, so here is my last, I'm down to my last storage. You guys are missing the sunset. It is pink and purple, very beautiful. So I have this piece of French bread that is really puffy, and it is a zippered pencil case. I am down, I need to probably, I bought a whole selection of them, and I have video on my selection of under $3 zippered pencil cases for holding miscellaneous things. So this one holds my 10 metallics. We will take a quick peek at them. The only other set of jelly rolls that I own is a full set of glaze. This is not anywhere near as cute, but these were under $2, I believe, and I bought like 4 different colors. So they actually have room for way more than the 10. And then I have my labeling system. These labels come from Temu. I buy them in 50 at a time, and here's all my glazes. The ones I use the most are in here. I use the clear and the black the most. Okay, so I ended up with 2 golds, and I don't see the second gold. I hid the second gold somewhere, and it is not sitting here. Actually, I'm going to take that back. I believe, if my memory serves correct, because this is the second time I'm filming this, and I unpackaged all of these in the first. The reason why I'm refilming is it was way too long for products that have been out for years, so I do not need to show you unpackaging as if it's like a brand new crazy fun thing. So this gold is actually from this pack, and I'm keeping this one set together. And then I have tape around this copper, and I will share with you why shortly. So that is all I bought at Joann's. So before we go into looking at them, I have written or done a community post on this particular part of the deal. So after I was in the store and it was 30% off, I was curious about their pencil sets. And I went online and noticed that the Prismacolor pencils were available. They weren't in the store, but the 150 set was available. I am working through a master conversion sheet that I can use because Prismacolor are the most popular YouTube tutorial set. So a lot of people have the Prismacolors, and then even if you don't have the Prismacolors, most big conversion charts that have like Karen from My Colorful Country Life has a dozen on her conversion chart. But I have a couple of sets of pencils that I have actually been asked to, if I knew of a conversion chart available, and I could not find one. So I was curious about getting another set of 150s, not the individuals, because I would like a backup of these, and I would only do it if it was a really good price. So the price was it was $179.99, marked down 30% off to $125.98. And then I noticed with my purchase that I had an extra 25% off my total purchase, but its specific dates that it is usable would have been the 26th to the 28th. So I did notice that it was available, and I was nervous waiting till the 26th. So what date was this that I bought this? Probably the 23rd. It was the day after I made this purchase. So it was the 24th that I decided to pull the trigger, because I have this little tool called Honey, and Honey is a plug-in, and whenever you put something in your cart and it's like a main online shopping cart tool, it pops up and it wants to put in codes that it has collected. So it's like a curator of discount codes. I don't use it very often, but in this case, if I was going to be able to not have to wait the extra couple of days and risk them being out of stock of the Prismacolor 150, I ran the honey, and here is what it showed. It did, and it's nighttime here. I just watched the sunset. So we're going to be under artificial lights, which I'm not coloring, so it's okay. Honey 75 gave me 25% off my total purchase. I have already the screenshot of what this looks like. So I literally, and I think this is a really good deal, $94.48 for 150 new Prismacolor pencils. Way under $1 a pencil. That's pretty darn good. So this is coming. It's actually on its way. I'll get it tomorrow. All I'm going to do with my box is open it up, take the 2 new purples that replaced the retired purples that I have already on my conversion chart, and then that fresh box is going to go away into storage with my other duplicates, because I think I don't know, I have multiple sets of about 4, but then keep in mind I'm kind of a Color Brute Funer already have collected, but they're all different, and so I really do have like 4 different sets of the ones that are both branded the white label Color and Brute Funer. So if it's a really good pencil set, I own multiples of it. So the last thing that I got before we do our testing is I love to buy used coloring books. I love to buy used colored pencils. So I have only bought brand new maybe 4 coloring books total. So there's a new coloring book out for one of my artists that I sign up for his free monthly coloring page, and I've got his free book, and I felt it was time for me to support him. And it also just so happened that this new book has come out that I really like, so I bought it, and I paid full price. So with all of my encouraging people to buy used books, I don't think that buying the used book, at that point the sale has already been made, the royalty has already been paid for the artist. So if you really like the artist at some point, it would be nice to just buy something to support them. So that's what I did here. And you're not going to see the whole book. This is what it is. And I will be doing a flip through next. It is, again, nighttime here. So to me, I think the best time to do a flip through would be in the AM. So I will be doing that tomorrow. But I just really love the whole book. And I already have printed out somewhere here. Maybe I'll locate it tomorrow. Anyhow, there is a fall page that tomorrow when we go through the flip through, and this is a really interesting feeling cover. It's like a kind of a matte finish. It just feels really nice, and the paper is not bad, but we will go through all that tomorrow. I just don't want to have this be a big long thing all about this book, because I want to test the new to me Posca pens that I have never owned. And I have a couple of tests left to do. Let's share the swatching that I did. I do have the Jelly Roll Metallic swatched on black. I am thrilled that I, for the most part, was straight. I'm terrible at straight lines. And this came out pretty good. So I went ahead and did the Poscas. I'm only doing 9 here because I did 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's 8. And why is there only 8 when I see 9? I think I have missed one. And I did not notice this in my first filming of this. So I will figure out which one I am missing, and it'll get squished in here in the bottom. They are, to me, they are more like mica. It's not a glitter. It is a metallic. But to me, it's not like a chrome metallic. It is a shimmery, pearlescent mica type metallic, if that makes any sense. So the Poscas, we have the 1MR and the 1M. Both are a 0.7. but you can see that actually the bullet nib is definitely, this is what I wanted to test. So the pin nib is more delicate than the bullet nib, even though they both say they are 0.7. So I don't know if you knew that. Probably everybody knows that, but I do like that I have 3 different size dots. And now that I am home with them, there's one size larger that I would not have minded, but I can take this 3M nib and force the pen dot to be a little bit wider. It just means it'll take me a little bit longer to go through. And if we compare to my Artistro, you can see where I did practice testing the dots in the variety of sizes on my metallics, and I did the same thing. These are my favorite paint pens. They have lasted the longest. I do have some other reject sets that dried out, and that certain ones, and that's why I ended up buying the Artistros. So here's more multiple size of dots, because I do like to size my dots in groups of 3 in different sizes. All right, so I have now on the white, let's see if I have 9 here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So what am I missing? So funny. I'm missing 520. I wish these had names, but I am sure glad that these actually have a number. This is 520, and it is like a fuchsia. I don't color big areas with these pens. I've always just used them as bling, accent, embellishing on cards and on the coloring pages that I do. So there's my missing one. I see that when I started out, this 5 was not a full thick, and then I did have, when I did the number sign, it was actually a little bit heavy. So you do have to be a little bit careful with these. So my sheet here with the jelly roll and the Poscas, I already see that there's a difference between the 1MR and the 1M, but the nibs are the only difference. In theory, they're supposed to be 0.7. So there's a variety of the bullet sizes. Let's do the real fatty. These have already been primed just yesterday, and I don't know, because I'm not a Posca user, if I'm supposed to have to prime them the next day, but they seem to be working fine without any further shaking. I am sure that if I grabbed these after they were put away in the drawer, that I would be, looks like they all do a nice job. And then I have silver and gold. My next test that I really want to do with these, because I have not done a lot of it, and that is doing the white outlines. So for giggles, I have this is my mom. She did her own testing when she was here in April. She tested, actually I brought out for one of the coloring classes 7 inexpensive sets of pencils that were under $30 that were available on Amazon. So these little codes are her tests of her brands. I don't even know what that is. I think this is Artisto, and she didn't like them. Starjoy Gold is the yellow flower. This is trying to interpret my mom. But all I want to do is take the 0.7 pin nib, because I'm curious how it does, because I think I'm going to like it for doing outlines. And we're going to just test it. And the nice thing is this is 4 different sets of pencils on this sheet. So one thing I've noticed, depending on the wax composition, if it's too waxy, my jelly rolls skip. So I am curious because I know Color, when I get to the Colors up here, this is Amazon Basics. They're not as oily, waxy as the Color. I don't even know if it's oil or wax, but what it is they're slick. And when they're slick, my jelly rolls and the Uniball skip. The roller on them skips, which is why I'm intrigued by this pin nib. And if you guys want to let me know your thoughts on these so far, I am really liking how smooth it goes down. This is way, way better than what I have. I need a better white solution if I'm going to tackle that technique of doing the white outline. I'm going to move, so that's the Amazon Basics, that did good. Let's see how the Starjoy. Starjoy is a fairly slick when it burnishes. It is a nice shiny surface. So how hard will it be to get a smooth flow of white? I am not having any problems here. And I appreciate that my mom left this for me, because it's coming in handy now to be able to quickly test multiple pencils. And then Color, which was the real reason for me choosing this little sample, are my slickest budget pencils. So how well does this pin nib cover? I can feel it sliding more than the 3 other brands. I guess 2 other brands. Over here, I do have Artisto. Notice how white on the Amazon Basics and the Starjoy. Let's color this area right next to the Starjoy. I want to make sure that I'm getting the same level of white. So far it seems like I don't necessarily even have to do multiple coats. I would go through and have to go back and forth and back and forth, and it was just so frustrating. And that was with both the Uniball Signo. Oh, and then the problem with the Artistro acrylic markers is they're not delicate enough. They're way too heavy. I am gonna call so far this testing a success. Now, one last brand. This is the Artisto. These are a really nice, inexpensive 72 set that I bought. Now, I do not know. These 2 leaves look the same. And very nice. Very nice. I think I am most interested in this pen nib, but I am going to now grab, because the other nib, the bullet nib, also says 1. It just says 1M, bullet shaped. I am going to do a little testing of the bullet shape. So let's, I saved this orange Color flower. Notice how fast that was. I can't tell you how long it would have taken me to do these flowers. So I am quite pleased. Interesting, this is pretty delicate as well. Even though on my sample swatch, this was fatter than the pin nib. So what this means, guys, is that I have a working pen to do a white outlined image in Small Victories. I have been working towards this. It's on my list. The attempts that I have made with the other white options that I have are to minimize the lines, but not to do the white line technique. Okay, so that was a success for the color. I'm going to do a few petals here for the Amazon Basics. Hub is in the kitchen. I tell him he doesn't realize how noisy the sound is in here. It is a great room concept. Now we're over in the Starjoy Gold. All right, I am going to call this a success. Happy with my purchase. If you are interested in getting 30% off on any of these items, it's drawing supplies, markers, and pencils. So, do all the YouTube things, like, share, comment, and consider subscribing. And I will see you all at the flip through, which I will do in the morning. See you then.